Hello my friends, this is Alien Contactee Linol Anderson here with you guys with a brand new YouTube BitChute video. In today's video, well, it's that time of year again, it's Christmas of course, and I felt it was important this year to show the truth about Christmas and its reptilian origins. That's right my friends, what if I were to tell you guys that Christmas is a huge reptilian Anunnaki worshipping holiday, a Loosh harvester, all designed to take your energy and do pretty much worship figures such as Inky and Lil, Marduk, and all those Sumerian Anunnaki shape-shifting lizards at the end of the day who have been controlling humanity since day one. We're going to be exposing Santa Claus today, my friends. Satan Claus. Oh, yeah. We're going to be getting into the pagan origins and all that. But I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not doing this video to shame anybody who's celebrating this or anything like that. My intention with this video is to bring awareness to its origins. So once we can become aware of what it's all about, it doesn't mean we can't have fun anymore. You know, everybody's off work. It's a good time to get together with family and do beautiful things. It's all about your intention. Okay, my friends? So not saying you have to just do nothing this holiday seasons. No, go have a good time with your family. That's what it's supposed to be all about. But just be aware of its origins, so you could set your own intentions for what you're doing, okay? So let's just get right into it. Just got to encourage you guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, hit the notification bell, click all so you get all the notifications. I'm heavily shadow banned. Hit the like button. Now let's get into it. All right. So, my friends, let's start off with the obvious, you know, old Santa Claus. So, who is Santa? You know, the main figure of Christmas that everybody's seeing. They got Santa Claus decorations all over. Who is Santa? Well, my friends, did you know that Santa is an anagram for Satan? That means if you just switch a couple letters around, it spells Satan. Take a look. There you have it. So, what's Satan all about? Well, if you've been following my channel for a while, I've shown in previous videos that Satan is actually Saturn, okay? Satan equals Saturn. We know the elites are obsessed with worshiping Saturn. That's why we see the black cube of Saturn all around the world, right? There you go. And I have a video exposing the whole black cube of Saturn thing. You should definitely check it out once you're done this video. But in that video, you will see that Satan / Saturn is actually the fourth dimensional reptilian AI that operates this matrix simulation that we're in. That's right, reality is a matrix simulation, my friends. It's an AI, a higher dimensional AI that was created by these reptilian beings. Okay, you could refer to it as the demiurge, right? And pretty much, it's who all these elites worship, and even these reptilian entities, they worship this AI. And you got figures like Inky and Enlil, who are all connected to it, Marduk, okay? They're all serving this AI entity, okay? So it's interesting, because what if I were to tell you that Christmas is a big Saturn holiday? Because you see, Christmas goes back to a Roman holiday called Saturnalia. That's right, that's where Christmas comes from. I'm going to show you a video of good old Jordan Maxwell shining some light on Saturnalia. Take a look.
The Saturnalia was the celebration in Rome for the planet Saturn. And it happened like 13 days before the 25th. So it was like 12 days before what we call today Christmas. But it was the 12 days before, and it was called Saturnalia. because Saturn was in Rome considered to be the god of chaos. That was another thing he was known for. What the Romans did with worshiping Saturn, they actually had 12 days of chaos in which the kings would bow to slaves and prisoners were let loose, and they would be in charge of their masters who put them in prison. There was alcohol and sex and drugs and whatever you wanted. In the Roman Empire, you're free to do whatever it is you want to do. So the idea was it was a chaotic time in which all law was just thrown away. And now it was up to anybody, whatever it is you want, go out and get it and take it. Today, we call it Christmas. In the Roman Empire, the Saturnalia.
There you go. Good old Jordan Maxwell. We love him. He was a pioneer in his field. But as you could see, it's interesting because this Saturnalia was pretty much like the Purge movies that you see that have been released. You know, they released the prisoners. They could do whatever they wanted. And it was just absolute chaos because, of course, Saturn is the god of chaos, right? Because it's a reptilian AI, reptilians, end of the day, right, my friends? So, and you know, Jordan Maxwell didn't go to all the details. If you dig deep enough, you could find evidence that human sacrifice was involved with this Saturnalia. And not only that, human sacrifice still to this day, okay, is huge around the Christmas time. Why is that? Because it all goes back to the winter solstice, right? It's a major energetic event that's happening on December 21st and the following days, okay? And I know for me, I'm sensitive to energy. I feel the energy intense right now. I got a lot of people who are sensitive to energy. They're really struggling right now. It's a lot of energy hitting the planet right now. And we know these Satanists love to do their human sacrifice rituals on these days because it's actually a lot of high vibrational energy coming down. So they do these human sacrifice rituals to lower the vibration of the planet and to bring the chaos in. Now, I'm not saying everybody who took place in Saturnalia back in the Roman times are doing human sacrifice, but it's more so the elites who do this, okay? The top powers that be. Okay, and it's something that goes back to Sumerian times. It's very ancient. This whole thing is very ancient. Now, unfortunately, this situation gets so dark, though, with what goes on, that it targets the little ones, my friends, unfortunately. And we know these elites are into doing those sick and horrible things to the little ones. And it's actually right into the story of Christmas and Santa. If you go back to a European holiday called Yule, which is more origins of Christmas, there is the being known as Krampus, okay? And Krampus is this demonic-looking creature who would go around and kidnap the naughty children. So if you were a bad, naughty kid, he's going to go kidnap you, and he's buddies with old Saint Nick, a.k.a. Santa, a.k.a. Satan. And so, yeah, for the bad kids, they'd get taken by this demon, and who knows what him and Santa are doing. Take a look. Kind of creepy, eh, my friends? So, you know, it goes pretty dark stuff here. And, you know, that's probably why, you know, if you're bad for Christmas, you get a lump of coal or whatever. There's the, you've been naughty, you've been nice, blah, blah, blah. All those Christmas traditions, it all goes back to those kind of things. Okay, but it goes back even further, my friends, than just Rome and Saturnalia and Yule and all that Krampus stuff. It goes even further, my friends. It goes right back to the beginning, all the way back to Sumerian, Babylonian times. It actually goes back to Nimrod, my friends, and Enki. Oh yeah, and I'm going to show you evidence of all this. Take a look.
Nimrod is who you're really celebrating on the 25th day of December. You're not celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. And if you are, you're making a mockery of it.
The real origin of Christmas goes back to ancient Babylon. The name Nimrod is Hebrew and derives from Murad, meaning he rebelled. December 25th was the birthday of Nimrod. They celebrated this famous birthday over most of the known world for centuries before the birth of Jesus. December 25th was highly honored and recognized by Nimrod supporters. Many centuries later, it was Christianized as being the birthday of Jesus Christ. Nimrod was the founder of a religious system that began in ancient Babylon and has always opposed God. The Bible states that Nimrod was a mighty hunter before the Lord and began to be mighty in the earth. Biblical traditions associating Nimrod with the Tower of Babel led to his reputation as a king who was rebellious against God. This heaven-defying group of people wanted one government to rule the world and one religion to sway the hearts of mankind. This was their attempt to defy God and his authority, and the ringleader of this scheme was Nimrod. Nimrod had a plan to weld together and strengthen this evil religious system, and so he married his own mother, who was Semiramis. She was the first deified queen of Babylon, and Nimrod was the first deified king. Semiramis was known to be as wicked as her son, Nimrod. Incest was used here as a basis to unite this newly false religious system. This false system had a sacrificial plan just as God had a plan of sacrifice. But pagan worship required the offering of human beings, which was often the sons and daughters of the worshippers. A counterfeit holy day was instituted in honor of the sun god, Sunday. After Nimrod's death, his so-called mother-wife, Semiramis, propagated the doctrine of the survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. She claimed the full-grown evergreen tree sprang overnight from a dead tree stump, which symbolized the springing forth unto new life of the dead Nimrod. On each anniversary of his birth, she claimed Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it.
Pretty wild stuff there, wouldn't you say, my friends? And as you see, I attached that picture at the end as well, showing Nimrod, and he's got the little tree, and then of course you see the Santa Claus. So that's where it all comes from. December 25th was Nimrod's birthday. Yeah, and you know, a lot of people will say, well, I understand Christmas is pagan, but it's about Jesus for me. I'm worshiping Jesus. I'm celebrating Jesus' birth. So it's all about my intention. My intention is for Jesus. But my friends, I hate to break it to you. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow for many. But Jesus is just the same entity as Nimrod or any of these beings. Who he actually is Enki, okay? What it comes down to is these reptilian beings, Anunnaki beings, they reincarnate all the time. And they've been doing it since the Sumerian times, and all throughout all these civilizations, they keep coming back, especially in the religions and all those stories. And they keep reincarnating, and it's not just Enki. There's Enlil doing that, and Marduk, and all these figures taking Baal, Moloch, you name it. They always take on new names, okay? And I'll show you from the Greek stories. Apollo, I've told you guys how Apollo is Enki before. I've shown it many times in my older videos. But here's a picture of Apollo. Take a look. Oh, looks a little bit familiar, wouldn't you say? It kind of looks like he's kind of similar to Santa on his sleigh with the reindeer. See? And it's all sun worship at the end of the day. Apollo was the sun god, right? And Jesus, it's sun worship. I've shown that in my videos before. And so when you're worshiping Jesus' birthday on December 25th, you're worshiping Enki. Jesus was just one of Enki's latest reincarnations. And I understand. A lot of people say, well, Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. And that's right. The real man that this Jesus character was based off, because I do believe there is a real man. His name wasn't Jesus, though. Jesus is a creation of the Roman Catholic Church, okay? That name literally originally translates to Hail Zeus. letter J was not invented. Never forget when he supposedly walked there. So nobody knows the man's real name. Some say it's Yeshua or Yahuwah or whatever. But I do believe there was a real man who was born on that day. Or not on that day, but on a different day than December 25th, yeah. And he was a great spiritual teacher who came to teach us that God was within, love is the answer, okay? But that's not who people are worshiping on December 25th when they think they're celebrating Jesus' birthday. They're celebrating the fake Jesus, the Antichrist Jesus, okay? The ones that the Roman Catholic Church made up. And who knows, maybe he was a real person too who was possessed by Inky back then. All right, but you got to realize anytime you're worshiping some entity or deity, you are worshiping an antichrist, okay? The real Yeshua, he did not want to be worshipped, okay? God is within us. So if you ever externalize your power to some deity, it's usually these reptilian Anunnakis. And you know, Christmas is a major Loosh harvesting day to harvest our energy. Because think about it, you're doing all these rituals, setting up your Christmas tree. Take a look. There you go. That's just some of the symbolism there. You know, you got the star on top, which represents you know, the morning star. Take a look. That's right. Lucifer called himself the morning star. Lucifer is Inky, and as you saw in the meme there, Jesus as well referred to himself as the morning star. So that's why you got the star at the top, and then you got the serpent around there, and the balls, ball, all that. So you're doing that, you're singing Christmas songs and stuff. End of the day, you're giving your energy, singing Jesus, Santa, Satan, you know, you're giving your energy away to these beings. It's a major Loosh harvesting event, okay, my friends? And that's why it's celebrated. And it's been celebrated for a long time now throughout many different cultures for thousands of years on the winter solstice, because they're harvesting your energy and they're getting you to worship them. It's that simple. And then with religion, they get you to worship them, worshiping false Jesus characters, okay? The true Yeshua didn't even die on a cross. If you read the Sinai Bible, which is one of the original Bibles, that says he didn't even die on the cross. There's evidence to show he was married, lived a long life, had kids, all this stuff. But then the story of him dying on the cross, that's a story that's been told many times throughout many ancient religions, going back to Nimrod and Tammuz and all that. The cross, the Tammuz cross, my friends. Or Tammuz, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Tammuz, Jesus, yeah. So that story matches up with all these other pagan stories. Mithra, you name it, okay? And it's all worship of these Anunnaki beings. The true Yeshua said God was within, never asked to be worshipped. So stop. You got to stop giving your Loosh away. That's what this is all about, is giving your energy and your power away to these beings, worshiping them, celebrating them. That's what it comes down to. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video on a more positive note because, you know, this is all the exoteric stuff. But behind Christmas, there is an esoteric meaning. Just like with religion, all the exoteric crap is worshiping these Anunnaki beings. But within all these religions, there's deep esoteric spiritual concepts that actually are very beneficial for us to understand the nature of our reality and how to escape the matrix, because these reptilians have to tell us the truth and how we leave here, leave this realm. It's part of the rules of the simulation, as I like to say. So even with Christmas, you have a deeper esoteric meaning when it comes to Santa Claus. So I'm going to show you this video by Embodiment Celestial that really shines the light to the esoteric meanings of Christmas. Take a look.
Santa Claus stands for Saint Claustrum, which is the holy anointing oil that is produced in the brain. It falls down the spine, which is known as the Sushumna in India. And that's where we get the word chimney from Shumna. That's why Santa goes down the chimney, the cerebral spinal fluid goes down the vagus nerve, and it feeds every organ with this essential fluid. And that's why Santa goes down the chimney. This is why Santa gives presents to all the people in the world. We're told these stories as kids, you know, Santa Claus and these other fictitious stories, and they're meant to be broken down as beautiful allegories. Allegories of the Kundalini process that's necessary for enlightenment or light in the mind once we become illuminated. The Christos oil, or the cerebral spinal fluid, whatever you want to call it, this oil is carried by our frequency. The higher the frequency, the more the liquid is able to rise. As above, so below. Low frequency light becomes matter, and high frequency matter becomes light. It becomes illuminated. So your cerebral spinal fluid is able to rise because it goes from a liquid to gas. It goes from a dense to less dense. Liquid silver is quicksilver. It is living silver that turns into gold when it reaches the brain. The snake is the low frequency oil, which is represented by the rod. And the wings represent the oil in its highest form. We must be as wise as snakes, but as kind as doves. That's why when the snake rises and...
There you go. So that was the esoteric meaning of Santa, I should say. Very interesting stuff. It's all about the Kundalini, my friends. It's all about raising the frequency and the cerebral spinal fluid up like a chimney, as you saw. So, end of the day, that's what we got to do. We got to become enlightened. We got to become awakened, and do our best to ascend out of here and stop feeding these lizards. We are their food source, my friends. But like I said, this time of year, now that you're aware of all this stuff, I don't mean to ruin anything for you, but I think it's important you be aware. But still, you could still have a good time. Good time with your family, good time with your friends. Everybody's off work right now. Get together, have dinner, have this and that. I know personally for myself, I don't partake in any of the rituals myself. Oh yeah, sure, if somebody gets me a gift, I'll get them a gift back. That's okay because my intent is that way. But personally, I'm not setting up trees or putting up decorations. That's my personal choice. If you still want to do those things, as long as you set your intention, then it should be okay. You know, it's your choice. You find what works for you, but just make sure you set your intention in doing these things so you're not giving your energy away to these beings. All right? So that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something from this about how it all works and these pagan origins. And, you know, now's the time. This is the apocalypse. This is the unveiling of truth. It all has to come to light now. And we got to wake up. We got to stop playing these reptilians games. We got to stop feeding them because it's the only way we're ever going to become sovereign and break free is to snap out of the spell. And all this stuff contributes to the spell. So, with that being said, just to close the video, just want to say, you know, I am on Patreon. So if you enjoy my work and want to see more videos, definitely head on down there. I think this is my last major video of 2023. I'm going to take a little time off for the Christmas holidays here. But the link to Patreon is down below because I'm still going to be putting out some Patreon videos before the end of the year. I have a few more coming. So if you want more exclusive content you don't get anywhere else, link is down below, or if you'd like to just simply buy me a coffee for my efforts, I appreciate the support. The link to that is down below as well. But of course, it just means the most to me that you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment of support. I always love reading positive comments. And yeah, that's it. I might have one video right before New Year's, just an end of the year video to do some shout outs to some people, and I put together a nice little slideshow for you guys. But that'll probably be right before January 1st I'll release. So stay tuned for that. Love you guys. And until then, Lionel signing off.